The farmer who heard footsteps in the attic. The terrifying true story of the Hinterkaifeck murders. Imagine living in a house so isolated that the nearest neighbor is nearly a mile away. No streetlights, no police nearby, no one to hear your screams. Now imagine waking up one morning and finding footprints in the snow leading directly toward your home. You follow them. They come from the forest. They lead to your house. But then you notice something strange. There are no footprints leading away. Whoever came to your farm never left. Or at least that's what it looked like. Days later, 6 people would be brutally murdered. The killer would never be caught. And evidence would suggest that after the murders, someone continued living inside the house, eating meals, feeding animals, walking through the rooms, sleeping under the same roof as the victims. This is not a legend. This is not a movie. This is one of the most terrifying unsolved crimes in history. Before we continue, subscribe and turn on notifications if you enjoy true crime mysteries, unsolved cases, and real horror stories. Because tonight's case begins with strange footprints in the snow and ends with a mystery that has haunted investigators for more than 100 years.
The Lonely Farm, Germany, spring of 1922. Hidden among fields and forests stood a small farm known as Hinterkaifeck. The farm belonged to Andreas Gruber and his family. Life there was quiet, almost too quiet. The nearest town was several miles away. At night, darkness completely swallowed the property. There were no city lights, no sounds of traffic, only the wind, only the trees, only the occasional cry of animals. To outsiders, it looked peaceful. But strange things had already begun happening. Andreas noticed footprints coming from the woods. The tracks moved toward the farm, toward the house, toward the barn. But there were no tracks leading back. Whoever made them had apparently arrived, but never left. Andreas reportedly found this deeply disturbing, yet he could not explain it.
The sounds above. Then came the noises. Late at night, Andreas began hearing footsteps. Not outside. Not in the yard. Inside. Above him. In the attic. At first, he thought he was imagining things. But the sounds continued. Slow footsteps. Heavy footsteps. The sound of movement overhead. Someone or something walking above the family while they slept. Andreas searched the attic. He found nothing. No intruder, no animal, no explanation. Yet the noises continued. Every night, every few nights, always returning, always reminding the family that something wasn't right. The maid who fled. As if the footprints and attic sounds weren't frightening enough, the family's maid suddenly quit. Her reason shocked everyone. She claimed the house was haunted. She said strange things were happening, things she could not explain. She became so frightened that she packed her belongings and left. She never returned. Most people laughed at her. They assumed she was superstitious. But within days, no one would be laughing anymore. Because the replacement maid would arrive at the farm on the very day tragedy struck. The keys. One day, Andreas discovered something else. A key to the house had gone missing. No one knew where it had gone. No one admitted taking it. The family searched everywhere. Nothing. The key had vanished. Combined with the footprints, combined with the attic noises, combined with the growing sense of dread, the missing key felt like another piece of a terrifying puzzle. But nobody understood the picture yet. Not until it was too late. The last day. March 31st, 1922. The day began like any other. Farm work, household chores, ordinary routines. Nothing seemed unusual. A new maid arrived to begin her first day of work. She had no idea she had walked into one of history's most infamous crime scenes. No idea she would never leave. No idea that by sunrise, everyone on the property would be dead.
As darkness approached, the farm settled into silence. The family went about their evening. The animals rested in the barn. The wind moved through the trees. And somewhere nearby, a killer waited.
The barn. Investigators would later piece together a horrifying theory. One by one, members of the family appear to have been lured into the barn. Not all at once, one at a time. Something drew them there. A sound, a disturbance, a voice. No one knows. But somehow they entered that barn individually. And inside the darkness, tragedy awaited them. The killer had patience. The killer had a plan. And most chilling of all, the killer seemed to know exactly how the farm operated, exactly who would come looking, exactly when. To be continued.